Hi, I'm Nora. After 25 years of marriage, you'd think you know someone inside and out. Well, I sure learned differently last Tuesday when I tried to pay our property taxes online. Funny how one declined payment can unravel your whole life. Ma'am, I'm showing insufficient funds in this account, the bank representative said. That's impossible. There should be over 60,000 in there. I'm afraid the current balance is $812. My hands started shaking as I hung up. First call was to my son Michael, who works as a financial analyst. Mom, give me an hour. I'll check everything through my banking connections. While waiting, I called my best friend, Sarah. She's been my rock since law school, now a corporate lawyer who never lost her street smarts. Get your butt over here right now, I told her. Tom's done something stupid. 20 minutes later, we're sitting in my kitchen when Michael calls back. Mom, it's bad. Really bad. The money's been moving out slowly over the past 8 months. Small amounts at first, then bigger transfers. All authorized by Dad. How much? Close to $500,000. Want me to come over? Please. My neighbor Rachel was watering her garden when Michael arrived. She's a forensic accountant. Funny how the universe puts the right people in your path sometimes. Everything okay, Nora? You look pale. 10 minutes later, she's at my kitchen table too, looking through bank statements Michael pulled up on his laptop. See these transfers? They're structured to avoid attention. Someone knows what they're doing. The doorbell rang. Linda, Tom's secretary for the past decade, stood there looking nervous. Mrs. Anderson, I've been trying to work up the courage to talk to you for weeks. There's something you need to know. Come in, Linda. And it's Nora. She sat down, twisting her hands. Mr. Anderson's been having a lot of private meetings with this woman from the investment firm downtown, but they're not at the office. They're at the Riverside Hotel. Sarah pulled out her phone. I'm calling in some favors at the courthouse. We need to move fast before he realizes you're on to him. Michael squeezed my hand. We've got your back, Mom. I looked around my kitchen table. My son, my best friend, my neighbor, and my husband's secretary, all ready to help. Tom thought he was being clever, but he didn't count on one thing. I'm not the type to cry into my wine glass. I'm the type to get even, legally and thoroughly. All right, I said, pulling out a notepad. Let's make a plan. The next morning, Rachel spread documents across my dining room table while Linda brought in a stack of appointment calendars. These credit card statements don't add up. Look at these charges at Tiffany's. But you never got any jewelry last year, did you? Not a single piece. He's been meeting this Miss Chen twice a week for months now. Linda pointed to the calendar. Always saying they're discussing overseas investments. 3-hour lunches to discuss investments? Please. I couldn't help but scoff. Michael burst through the door, laptop in hand. Found something huge. Dad's been channeling money through a shell company in Nevada. Classic move. He probably thought nobody would connect the dots. How much are we talking about? Rachel asked. Another $250,000 at least. And get this, he opened an account in Singapore last month. That sneaky little... I stopped myself as Sarah walked in carrying a thick legal folder. Just got back from the courthouse. Tom's definitely planning something big. He's been inquiring about property laws in Thailand. Looks like he's planning to jump ship. My phone buzzed. Tom texting about working late again. Important client meeting? Don't wait up. Yeah, right. Important meeting at the Riverside Hotel, I bet, Linda muttered. Room 412, like always. Wait, you know the room number? Reception knows me. I've been booking his business meetings for months. Started keeping records when things felt sketchy. Rachel pulled up more documents on her tablet. Look at this pattern. Every time he meets Miss Chen, there's a transfer to the Singapore account within 48 hours. And here's another thing. Michael pointed to his screen. He's been researching divorce lawyers, but get this. Only ones known for helping hide assets. Got him. Sarah smiled. That's exactly what we needed. Nora, we're filing first thing tomorrow. I've already drafted everything. He's coming home tonight. What do I do? Act normal, Rachel advised. We've got enough to nail him legally. Don't tip our hand. The security cameras at the Riverside Hotel keep footage for 60 days, Linda mentioned casually. Just saying. Sarah, what's our next move? I'm meeting Judge Harrison for coffee tomorrow. Purely social, of course. But she might be interested to hear about potential financial fraud in her jurisdiction. The Singapore account is the key, Michael added. International transfers over 50K get flagged. Dad missed that detail. I heard Tom's car pulling into the driveway. Everyone quickly gathered their papers. Remember? Sarah whispered as they slipped out the back door. You're just his unsuspecting wife for one more day. Tomorrow, we unleash hell. Legally speaking, of course. I grabbed my romance novel and settled into my favorite chair, heart pounding as the front door opened. Time to give the performance of my life. Tom walked into the courtroom looking smug until he saw his business partner James sitting behind my legal team. The color drained from his face. You really thought I wouldn't find out about the Miller contract? James stood up. 20 years of partnership and you tried to cut me out? This is a misunderstanding, Tom started. Save it for the judge, Sarah interrupted, sliding a USB drive across the table. Full audio recordings of your meetings with Miss Chen at the Riverside. Room 412 had paper-thin walls, apparently. Linda stepped forward. I've got copies of every doctored expense report, every fake business meeting, and every manipulated invoice from the last year. You're my secretary. This is a breach of... Actually, Rachel chimed in. Linda became a whistleblower 3 months ago. Everything she gathered is legally protected. Should have read those new employment laws, Tom. Michael opened his laptop. Want to explain these transfers to Singapore? Because FinCEN has some interesting questions about them. The Miller Group pulled out of the deal this morning, James added. Nobody wants to partner with someone under investigation for financial fraud? Tom turned to his lawyer, whispering frantically. I could see sweat forming on his forehead. My client would like to propose a settlement, his lawyer announced. Not interested, I said clearly. We haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet. Tell him about Thailand, Sarah. Right here. Property listings, visa applications, all under your girlfriend's name. Real estate agents are so chatty when the FBI calls. The FBI isn't involved, Tom snapped. They are now, Michael smiled. International financial fraud tends to get their attention. You've got nothing concrete? Rachel started laying out documents. Bank statements showing systematic withdrawal patterns, emails discussing asset concealment, hotel receipts, airport parking records matching your business trips? Should I continue? Tom, his lawyer muttered. We should consider. 60 seconds, Sarah announced. That's how long our settlement offer stands. After that, we proceed with full criminal charges. You wouldn't dare, Tom glared at me. 25 years of marriage, which you threw away for Miss Chen. Speaking of whom, she rolled on you an hour ago, signed a full statement about your plans to transfer assets overseas. Seems she didn't appreciate finding out about your other girlfriend in Bangkok. James stood up again. The board meeting's at 3. Should I tell them you'll be slightly delayed due to criminal charges, or... Tom slumped in his chair, finally defeated. His lawyer reached for the settlement papers. Sign, I said calmly. It's actually quite generous, considering. You get to avoid jail time, though your career... I shrugged. Well, that's not my problem anymore. 6 months later, I'm sitting in my new beachfront condo, watching Tom's business empire crumble on the financial news. Another Anderson Global Partners subsidiary filed for bankruptcy today, the anchor announced. Turn that off and come celebrate, Sarah called from the kitchen, popping a champagne cork. The last asset transfer came through this morning. Did you see the Wall Street Journal article? Michael handed me his phone. Dad's name is toxic in the industry now. Even his golf club revoked his membership. Karma's really something, Linda smiled, now heading her own executive assistance firm. 3 of his ex-clients hired my company last week. Rachel walked in carrying a stack of papers. Just finished the final audit. Everything's clean, transparent, and properly transferred. He can't touch a penny. Have you heard from him? Michael asked, settling onto the couch. Last I heard, he's living in a studio apartment and driving for a rideshare company. Miss Chen dropped him once the money dried up. The Bangkok girlfriend didn't work out either, Linda added. Apparently, she didn't like the downgrade from 5-star hotels to budget motels. His new secretary quit after 2 days. Sarah laughed. Word gets around fast in corporate circles. Speaking of circles, Rachel pulled out a brochure. The Women's Business Association wants you to speak at their conference. From Betrayal to Empowerment, a financial independence story. Look who made the cover of Business Monthly, Michael grinned, sliding a magazine across the table. Mom, you're becoming quite the inspiration. The investment group loved your pitch, Sarah added. They're ready to back your Women's Financial Literacy Foundation. Who would have thought? I smiled. Tom actually did me a favor. I was getting bored playing the perfect corporate wife anyway. Oh, almost forgot. Linda pulled out her phone. James called. The board officially removed Tom as partner. They're renaming the company. Guess who they want as the new senior advisor? Michael nudged me. Already got the corner office picked out. Sarah winked. Right next to mine. To new beginnings, Rachel raised her glass. And to karma. And to good friends who know how to serve it, I added, looking around at my support team. Now my family by choice. My phone buzzed. Tom trying to call again. Probably wanted to beg for another chance or some money. I declined the call and blocked the number. Anyone up for dinner? I'm thinking that new rooftop place downtown. The one with the 2-month waiting list? Linda asked. Oh, please. Sarah grabbed her purse. Like they'd say no to the newest member of the City Business Council. Walking out with my crew, I couldn't help but smile. Tom thought he was escaping to paradise with his stolen millions. Instead, he gave me something priceless, a chance to discover my own strength, surrounded by amazing people who had my back when it mattered most. What would you have done if you discovered your spouse's betrayal earlier? Would you have confronted them immediately, or would you have taken Nora's approach of gathering evidence quietly? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever been in a situation where patience and strategic thinking paid off better than immediate emotional reactions? Share your experience. Your story might help someone else going through something similar. If you enjoyed this story of justice served cold, hit that like button and subscribe to catch more stories of triumph over betrayal. Remember to turn on notifications so you don't miss our next upload. Your support helps us bring more stories like Nora's to light.